Wow, this was one hell of a showcase Microsoft put on at E3. And as such, here's my top 10 games I'm excited about from this showcase.
The minute
At number 10, we have Slime Rancher 2. Now, who doesn't want to be a wiggly adventure as a Slime Rancher in this title? They're cute, they're pink, they're jumpy. This game is going to be in gorgeous 4K 60. Hopefully, this game will have co-op support, native co-op support on the console. Because while the first one was a real treat for the Xbox One and was a fantastic experience, being able to play with another person to experience the whole thing would be even better. And with a date of 2022, well, we're gonna have to wait and see at an XO21 or at a ID at Xbox event to see if we'll get more details, and hopefully we get a date that's a little more honed in than 2022. At number 9, we have Flight Simulator. The skies are calling, literally, on July 27th. Now, anytime you can add a potential game of the year to your platform, and anytime you can add a game that was breaking the shit out of people's PCs, A+. This release is supposed to be comparable to the PC release. So, 4K 60, hopefully ray tracing, it's real-time satellite data information, it's big. Now, I'm not usually one who's into simulators, but I do tend to have spare time that I just don't want to engage in anything too complicated. So to just fire up the Xbox and just go flying around Japan, that's cool. And with the new DLC that will also be dropping on the same day, the Maverick Top Gun DLC, in partnership with the movie that's releasing in November, not only will you be able to fly around as a plane, you'll be able to fly around as a fighter jet. So even better, even faster, even more detail. So sign me up. At number 8, we have Party Animal. Now this one, watching the trailer, it was way too adorable, it was way too precious. This game got some big time furry energy, and it's not ashamed to admit it. I liked a lot of what I saw in the presentation, but this was one of the standouts for me. The Xbox doesn't have too many of these party games, casual party games. There's a lot of content on the Game Pass, but this game here would fill a niche. And like everything on this top 10, it's day one in the Game Pass. Its release date is also just a vague 2022. So again, whether it's an XO or an ID and Xbox, expect to see more information on a later date. At number 7, we have Redfall. Now, Arcane does what Arcane does best, and that's create worlds with characters that we're all going to fall in love with. Now, I'm not sure why co-op horror games are becoming popular all of a sudden, but if the trailer is anything to go by, this is going to be a game with a megaton of personality, to give more depth to what's going on. It's not just endless waves of killing things. This game is set to release for the summer of 2022, and the launch window is far enough so it's not going to clump in with everything else that's coming in, like Dark Tide or Back 4 Blood. It's far enough to not clump in with all of that, and it's soon enough that we should see something more again before the end of the year. Arcane is amazing. They make top quality work. I'm not sure how they have the time to do this from between this game and Deathloop, but hey, you know, can't wait for the game to come by. Okay, at number 6, we have The Outer Worlds 2. Unfortunately, leaks spoiled this one, and so there would have been more of an emotional impact had it not been leaked. Still, this is a sequel to one of my favorite games in this last generation. Obsidian has been a bunch of monsters between Avowed, Grounded, and Outer Worlds. They're doing everything for me. And we didn't get much of anything on Outer Worlds 2, but just knowing that it's in the works just fine with me. At number 5, we have Halo. What? Too soon? Now, the biggest gripe I have with this is the non-committal holiday 2021. Otherwise, everything we need to see to justify the year delay was there. Well, we didn't see campaign, but as it was all about the multiplayer. But looking at Halo today versus what it looked like when they showed it to it last year is nearly a tale of two different games. Now, I did enjoy the visual from last year's footage, but this one we saw this year is much more in line with the general expectations we had, for a next generation Halo. It's all there. It's gonna happen, everyone. And like I said, it's only a matter of 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Number 4, we have Starfield. Honestly, did I say any more on this one? It's Starfield. Of course it's gonna be high on my list. It would have been higher if the release date was this year. However, its release date is 11/11/2022. Now, there were leaks that were suggesting it was going to be then. There were also just as many leaks that were suggesting it was going to be in November of this year. But, you know what? We were all expecting a space Fallout, but I'm thinking this is more like, it's from the tone of the trailer, I'm thinking more of a serious Outer Worlds. And Outer Worlds is one of my favorite games, so I'll take it. And number 3, we have Atomic Heart. Now, this is one of those games that it's been popping up for the last couple of years. It's had a pretty long development cycle. There's some skepticism on its legitimacy. It's one of those titles that when you think it's gone, it pops up, and this was no different this time. But I mean, it's kind of like a Fallout apocalypse mixed with like a cyberpunk technology aesthetic mixed with the control type of feel. It has all of the the groundwork to be a truly special title. And the fact that it's also going to be day one on Game Pass when it does release, that's what set it up for me. At number 2, we got Forza 5. Now, this one did leak ahead of time, so seeing it have a feature spot was not much of a surprise. The game is set to release on 11/9/2021, and which was in line with the leaks. When they said Forza was going to be built from the ground up to take advantage of the series consoles, they weren't kidding. From the 4K 60 ray tracing to the finest of details, all the way down to the individual thorns on any given cacti. Come on now. It's all here. GTA, eat your heart out. Because this is a real racer. It's the reason why Forza is the gold standard. And frankly, it ain't even close. Like, it's Forza, and then I guess you gotta give GTA a bronze. Because both Forzas are better than GTA. It's just is what it is. And it's even coming out before GTA. I mean, I saw GTA 7, and I'm not seeing what the delay is all about. And up at 1, we got Stalker 2. And really, all of these games at the top 5 could have been number 1. It was just, just what took me more emotionally and what gave me more of a excited energy, right? This is a top 10 based on what has been exciting me. And, Stalker 2 is, back when they announced it last year that it was coming to the Xbox, we kind of been like wanting to get some real meaty details on this game. And we got I think it was like a 5-minute like story trailer. We got introduced to a new protagonist character. Like, we got a chance to see, the game as it would be running. And this group is stupidly obsessed with all of the finest of details, and it shows the world is original, it's captivating. I don't know what the hell is going on. Now, maybe if you played the previous Stalkers, you got a better idea what's going on, but it's insane. And it has a April 28th release date for next year. So while we were hoping it would be a 2021 release date, that part's a bummer, but it's not that far off into next year. And we got a lot of great content coming up this year, so I ain't gonna push it. So what's really awesome is that all these games will be dropping in the Game Pass day 1. And with the exception of Atomic Heart, all of them are exclusives. There was obviously more that I would have liked to have seen, as there was a couple of missions we didn't see what Compulsion's been working on. We didn't see what's the state of Fable or Avowed or Perfect Dark or Hellblade 2. We didn't see Scorn, was Bright Memory Infinite. We didn't see Everwild. So we got a really good showcase here, and we didn't see the things that was really still most anticipating. That's what's really exciting now. Now we do have, a couple more events before the end of the year. We got the XO21, we got the Tokyo Game Show, we got the Game of the Year event, and probably at least one at ID Xbox event to, again, give us more details and show some of the things we've been expecting to see. But all in all, it was a fantastic presentation. There was 30 games they showed off, and 27 of them are dropping day 1 into Game Pass. Now, they obviously did talk about stuff like The Ascent, there's Back 4 Blood. There's a number of these titles that we're already waiting on that, are coming up in the next few weeks and months. Yeah, Psychonauts 2 coming up. There's a lot of stuff. So this is, an A+ presentation. When you consider the fact that we're still missing, like, they didn't throw everything at us and we're wanting more. They threw a bunch of things at us and were satisfied with that, and they still had more that they could have thrown in. Well, Xbox has always been good at E3, but this was definitely the best one in a while. What did you think about the presentation? What titles are you most excited about? As I mentioned, there was a bunch of things they didn't show, and of that, what would you have liked to have seen? In general, what all are you excited about? Leave that stuff down in the comment section below. And hey, while you're at it, feel free to do the like and subscribe thing. And if you don't, that's okay. The fact that you could have done anything and instead you spent it here with me, I appreciate that. This is Kay with the bare minimum, and hopefully you'll see me in the next one.